So it's racing season again. I'm super excited about it. I love racing myself. My wife hates it. She doesn't. She doesn't appreciate the fact that racing is one of America's top sports today. All she considers it is a bunch of cars. Excuse me, going around in circles. So to me, racing is exciting because I understand the sport. I know where it comes from, and what I'll do is I'll take some time to kind of tell you about the history of NASCAR, give you an idea of where it comes from, and why so many people are excited about following NASCAR. And maybe who knows, maybe you'll become a fan as well. As you can see behind me, I have my favorite driver. Lots of other fans, they have their favorite drivers. I even have some pink earmuffs that I had my wife chase some couple of drivers down to get some autographs for me. So I'll give you, like I said, I'll give you a history of NASCAR, and we'll start with the roots of NASCAR. NASCAR actually, the idea of NASCAR started back in the Prohibition days, and the founders of NASCAR weren't bootleggers or anything like that. Back in those Prohibition days, they used souped up cars to get away from the police. They had to go across borders, bring back their alcohol, and all while not getting caught by the police. So the best way to do that would be to tune on these engines, make them faster, so that you could outrun the police. You could probably even do some things to make your car turn a little bit better than the police cars, and in doing so, you made yourself faster. You could get away more and less risk for those bootleggers in the time. So that's where the idea of NASCAR racing stock cars that were souped up, that's where the idea was born. But in saying that, NASCAR itself was actually founded by a man named Bill France Sr., and this was in 1948. He and a group of racing enthusiasts, they got together, and they noticed that during the time there wasn't any type of racing or on-track racing that was like a daily racing thing. So they wanted to get together and create something. So they took that idea of using those souped-up stock cars, and they wanted to come up with a form of racing that would be racing on these tracks daily. So what they did was, they didn't want to go out and have these people spend all kinds of money on new cars because it was expensive at the time. At the time, a lot of people didn't have the money to go out and spend on new cars to race all the time like they do today. So what they did was they took whatever car that they had and they kind of tuned on it. They worked on it, did all the work themselves, and that's the car that they race. So that's where, NASCAR was born. Obviously, NASCAR today is a mega sport. You have your superstars like Jimmy Johnson, that we all associate with Lowe's, and Jeff Gordon and the late Dale Earnhardt, and those kind of people that are like mega superstars that have come and from a system that started out with what NASCAR started in the beginning, and actually is what it is today. But it wasn't always, as glamorous as what we see it to be now. Like I said, they started in the beginning. They were just using regular stock cars, that they drove. Like I said, they would even drive the cars from home. They would race the cars, and then they would take the cars back home, and that's how they started racing. So that's actually the history of NASCAR. And now today, it costs millions of dollars to run a NASCAR team. Tons of promotions, tons of sponsorship, those kind of things. If you ever get a chance to go to a NASCAR race, I would advise you to go. You'll get a different understanding of how it is there. All the people are like a family. Everybody's there for the same reason. Everybody has their fans. As I'm a Harvard fan, everybody else has their other fans. But the idea of rooting for somebody, everybody loves speed. So, you know, in a nutshell, that's how NASCAR became or has roots into from bootlegging days to what we see today. So that is NASCAR in a nutshell.